The night I graduated, my parents dumped me at a Greyhound station with a 20 and a figure it out. 10 years later, I rolled up to the family cookout in a matte black Tesla, and the grill smoke froze midair. They called me useless once. Mom, Linda, counted pennies at the credit union and preached safety over stars. Dad, Ron, fixed carburetors and insisted daughters needed husbands, not degrees. My sister Claire was the golden child, prom queen, valedictorian, recipient of a cherry red Mustang on her sweet 16. My 16th gift? A second-hand bus pass and a lecture about real life. Dinner meant 5 mismatched chairs. Mine was the wobbly plastic one that screeched like guilt. When Claire bragged about her marketing internship, Dad's eyes sparkled. When I showed off my robotics trophy, he reached for the TV remote. Mom murmured, "Cute, honey," already scrolling Claire's Instagram. I learned to vanish while sitting still. Engineering was my secret language. Wires, logic, cause and effect. A full-ride letter from Oregon State felt like oxygen. I slid it across the table. Linda barely glanced up from her coupon binder. Portland's a world away, and girls solder dreams, not circuits. Pay your own way, Emily Ron grunted agreement behind his sports page. Claire, home from college, smirked over her latte. Maybe invent a boyfriend who texts back. Mom's chuckle floated like smoke. Careless, lethal. Graduation morning, Claire preened in silk. "Try not to trip in those rented shoes," she sang. My parents clapped for strangers, not me. Afterward, the SUV idled outside the depot instead of Applebee's. Linda pressed a 20 into my fist. "You wanted wings, right?" Flyron stared ahead. Claire waved manicured fingers. Tires spun gravel, taillights bled into dusk. I stood in polyester robes, diploma rolled like a baton I'd never get to pass. Rain needled the pavement. I bought a stale bagel with half the cash and sheltered under a buzzing lamp. At 3 a.m., a bus hissed open. I boarded blind, woke in a nowhere town with one blinking diner sign. The owner, Mrs. Delgado, sized up my soggy gown. "Dishes pay daily." "Quit and you're broke." I scrubbed plates until my knuckles split, slept on flour sacks, memorized supply routes from trucker chatter. A night shift driver, Marcus, noticed I stacked crates like Tetris. "You think in grids," he said, sketching shortcuts on a napkin. I devoured YouTube logistics at the public library, scribbled algorithms on placemats. By 23, I was rerouting rigs for a regional hauler, saving them thousands. At 26, I coded PathPulse, software that predicted traffic, weather, breakdowns. At 28, PathPulse served fleets in 15 states. My byline graced trade magazines. Then came the invite. "Harper family picnic. Bring the whole crew." Aunt June's cursive practically begged. I RSVP'd yes, wired the venue fee, and requested the mic. The Tesla purred to a stop beside folding tables and checkered cloths. Head swiveled. I stepped out in charcoal linen, hair knotted tight, heels silent on grass. Aunt June squealed, "Stranger danger!" Linda dropped her potato salad spoon. Ron choked on beer. Claire's smile calcified. I signed the guest book. Emily Harper, PathPulse Inc., event benefactor. Gasps rippled. Aunt June seized the mic. "Let's thank the woman keeping America's trucks rolling." Sparse claps swelled. I took the stage. 10 years ago, I began, my parents gifted me a bus ticket and a 20. They called it tough love. The crowd hushed. That night I learned routes aren't just roads, they're choices. Every mile I optimized, every line of code carried me farther than their headlights ever reached. Linda's face went ash. Ron studied his shoes. Claire's arms folded like armor. Tonight, PathPulse launches the Lantern Scholarship. Full rides for kids told to shrink. No family cosign required, cheers erupted. My parents stayed statues. Later, under string lights, Linda approached. "You didn't tell us." Her voice cracked like thin ice. Ron muttered, "We were teaching grit." Claire added, "You're welcome, I guess." I drew the original 20 from my clutch, laminated, edges soft. "This bought a bagel and a future." "Keep it." I set it on the picnic table. Aunt June wheeled Grandma Rose forward. "You left her with pocket change," the old woman snapped. "She built highways." Silence pooled. Crickets took over. I returned to the car. "Drive," I said. The 20 stayed behind, glowing under paper plates like a relic. On the highway, I whispered to the dark, "Thanks for the head start." At the old depot, now just a bench and a vending machine, I left a single sunflower and the ghost of that night. The Tesla merged north. City lights rose like runway beacons. I didn't look back. Some exits are permanent,